Animal welfare is under their purview, and animal disease. They do not have authority over the actual animal, only the microscopic disease. So when we're looking at these onerous government programs, we have to understand the jurisdiction of the agencies. The FDA is really the biggest booger on the block, okay? The FDA is much more frightening than the USDA, and they're the ones that have the authority over food animals on the farm.
Now, so wait a minute. Now, let me excuse me for interrupting, but this FDA, these are also the FDA is pretty much staffed by people from the pharmaceutical industry, the big pharma, right. And I mean, if you watch your television commercials, every other commercial for some kind of pill, so that'll cure or at least all the symptoms of your disease.
Yeah, and then you get to take another pill to take care of the effects of that pill.
Yes. So this is the bad guy. These are the FDA, the U.S. Department of Agriculture. That they don't have anything to do with this, right?
Okay. The USDA's authority is over animal disease. Now, I call them Uncle Sam Destroying Agriculture and the Food Destruction Agency. Those are my names for them. Now, the FDA has authority over the actual animal on the farm, if you're under their jurisdiction, okay? And that's a matter that most people like to go back and forth about in the patriot community. But the fact of the matter is that if you're going to make a living off of a farm, you have to sell product, okay? You can survive, but none of us is an island. And I think the Liberty Village, that's a great idea, that kind of thing. But in today's world, where we have to pay the electrical bills and stuff like that, we have got to somehow be able to transfer our wealth into currency to pay our bills with. And that's where they got you on all of this stuff.
You know, that was one of the other plans in Liberty Village, was to create and manufacture our own wind generators, our own solar panels, our own magnetic generators, and then we wouldn't be hooked to the meter. If we were hooked to the meter, we would be making money off of the generating our power from what God gave us.
Right.
You know, right. Now, I said Obama's idea of going green is selling the top of that mountain to an international corporation, having the international corporation come up and erect a bunch of windmills on top of that mountain, and then they pipe it down to the electric company, sell it to the electric company, and the electric company sells it back to you. Why not put your own wind generator up? Why not put your own solar up and not pay anybody anything?
I think that's a great idea, and I'm all for it. Yet you still run into the issue of getting the raw materials with which to create the equipment. And that, the Interstate Commerce Clause, that's being used as a hammer in all of this. And all of it really points to basically taking your wealth. Now, this is one thing that I'm really big on, Clay, is differentiating between wealth and money, because they're not the same thing. Wealth is what you can use regardless of the quote-unquote economy. It's actual usable property.
I feel like I should add in here, this is one of my other pet things, Doreen.
Okay.
Our number one cash crop, the number one cash crop in America, was stolen from us in 1939.
Marijuana or hemp, right?
Hemp, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
And for 200 years in America, you could pay your taxes with hemp.
Well, we've lost a whole lot, but we still have our lives, and we still have a duty to defend against those who would want to call good evil and evil good. And that's what shows like yours try to do, right? Try to get the information out to people so they can make decisions on an informed basis instead of, you know, believing the hype and believing the delusion that's being put forth to us on TV with all of their lovely ads for all of the pills that you should take.
That's right. So we've got half of America is stoned and they ain't smoking pot. I'm sorry.
Right, you know. And I mean, it's a big problem, but what we have to do is understand how it's actually coming to pass and then what we can do to effectively fight it. And I'm real big on states' rights, and I'm really big on acting locally, but we have so many issues on the federal level, it's really hard to affect anything. So I think our success on thwarting the NAIS, as far as them being able to go forward and make it mandatory within their time frame, I think that's a success.
No.
But we didn't kill the monster. They just changed the name.
Yeah,
you know?
they changed. That's what they do now. On the chat room, they're saying that we're headed for a Ukrainian holodromo repression, like what happened in the 1930s in Ukraine. I mean, 10 million Ukrainian farmers starved to death in that time period there.
Yes.
And they're asking, what's the plan to depopulate the countryside?
Well,
Oops, is that? Okay.
I'm still here.
All right, let me see what that is. I got something here. Somewhere here I've got something wrong.
It's technology. Come on, it's got to be perfect.
Okay, I'm not sure what okay, maybe I found it there. Okay.
Good job.
Yeah. I had no idea which. I'm on 3 or 4 different stations here, so let me see if I can get back on that one.
Okay.
What now? A number of years ago, we wonder why that one's not working. All right, let's see. Maybe I got it working here. No. Yeah. Okay. A number of years ago, they were talking about the Wilderness Act, and they wanted to set aside large areas of the West, and they've basically done that with the Bureau of Land Management. They've set all these areas aside. They're going to designate them a wilderness area. So you can't go in there and you can't farm and you can't settle and obviously you can't hunt. So you can't do anything there to feed yourself. I mean, it's like a scene out of Robin Hood in Sherwood Forest. You know, this is the king's land. You can't hunt deer on this land.
Right, and that's the plan for everything, is really to herd us into the cities where we're quite easily managed and we have limited resources and really have to have permission in order to use those resources, and of course that's Agenda 21 Sustainable Development. So that's what all of this is part of, and I'm sure you probably know that Clinton is the one that signed it into existence via executive order, and I think it was 93, Executive Order 12582, or 852. I'm not positive on that. But it's either 12582 or 12852, and that established the President's Council on Sustainable Development, and the agencies fall under the executive branch, so the agencies all swore allegiance to implementing Agenda 21. And in the Agenda 21, 400 or so page document, it says, close to the very beginning, that its goal is to control all human impact on the environment. And NAIS, ADT, the food safety legislation, the Scenic Wild Rivers Act, the restoration of extinct wildlife, the banking structure, all of these things are part of Agenda 21. So
now,
that's what
we in other words, all of our independence has been turned over to the UN, and they want to micromanage everything we do. we had a report